Hello everyone, in the previous video we explored parallel lines. In this video we'll be looking into perpendicular lines. But first, let's review your knowledge on parallel lines. So which of the following lines are parallel to each other? The correct answer is option C, which indicates that line 2 and line 4 are parallel. This is because these lines will never intersect no matter how far you extend them. And you can also see that by noticing that these lines run in the same direction. If you'd like to learn more about parallel lines, feel free to check out my previous video on the topic. Now let's shift our focus to the other two lines. These lines intersect at a point which we call the vertex. Can you think of what happens when two lines intersect? Well, in the video on lines, line segments and rays, we learned that a ray is part of a line that starts as a point and continues infinitely in one direction. So this part here is a ray because it starts at the vertex and extends infinitely in that direction. Similarly, this is also a ray extending infinitely in another direction. Also, in the video on angles and degrees, we discussed that an angle is formed by two rays sharing the same endpoint. Now, since these two rays share the same endpoint, we can create an angle here. By considering other pairs of rays, we can form additional angles at various positions around the vertex. So when two lines intersect, they always create four angles. For this example, the angles measure 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 60 degrees, and 120 degrees again. Now lines that intersect to form 90 degrees angles, which are also known as right angles, are called perpendicular lines. As you can see on the screen, these two lines form right angles, which are usually indicated by a small square at the vertex. Great! Now that you understand perpendicular lines, can you identify which of the following options best represents lines that are perpendicular? The correct answer to this is option D, as the two lines form right angles at the vertex. So let's discuss how to indicate that two lines are perpendicular. Now suppose we have two lines that are perpendicular, where the green line has points A and B, and the orange line has points E and F. We can name the green line as AB with a line symbol above it, and the orange line as EF with a line symbol above it as well. To indicate that these two lines are perpendicular, we use an upside down T, which resembles two perpendicular line segments. So this reads, line AB is perpendicular to line EF. Now, say that we have the points C and D on the green line, and the points I and J on the orange line. Which of the following options correctly indicates that these two lines are perpendicular? And remember, to name a line, you need any 2 points on the line. The correct option is option 2. In option 1, the orange line is named incorrectly because points B and H are not on the line. The same issue arises in option 3, where H and G are not points on the orange line, making the naming incorrect. And the same also occurs for option 4, where the naming is also incorrect. In option 2, points C and D are on the green line, and points I and J are on the orange line. So the two lines are named correctly. And we also have an upside down T, which represents that these two lines are perpendicular. So let's wrap up this video with a scenario. Now suppose we have three lines, where line 1 is perpendicular to line 2, and line 2 is perpendicular to line 3. What can we conclude about the first and the third lines? To put this more formally, let's say points A and B are on the green line, and the points E and F are on the blue line, and points I and J on the red line. So we have that line AB is perpendicular to line EF, and line EF is perpendicular to line IJ. What can we conclude about line AB and line IJ? Well, if you take a look at lines AB and IJ, you will notice that they appear to be parallel and never intersect. So if you have three lines where the first and the second are perpendicular, the second and the third are also perpendicular, then the first and the third lines are parallel. In the next video, we'll learn about how to name angles. Stay tuned.